Yesterday, we were talking about the fact that Barcelona are obviously big favourites. You know, rightly so over the two legs. But, boy, Chelsea put up a great fight.
Well, they did if you think they had, I don't know, somewhere around 30-35% possession. So it was a counter-attacking game at home where clearly, even by the highlights, Willians was their best player. My one criticism would be, and the game is still alive, but certainly Barca are favourites. My one criticism would be that we know Barcelona have been more pragmatic this season. They've been successful, but they've been pragmatic. They were there to get a better result by the amount of possession, the way Chelsea got forward at times. To not have any of your two strikers, in my opinion, particularly Alvaro Morata, in the biggest game of this season at home, I think was a bit of a buckle from the...
That's a bit unfair, though, isn't it? If it wasn't for Chelsea shooting themselves in the foot, it wasn't for Christensen, they would have won this 1-0.
That's ifs, buts and maybes. All I'm saying is, with Barcelona at times...
But you're saying if buts and maybes if Giroud and Morata start.
Well, if I'm buying strikers and I've got one of the supposed top strikers in Europe, I think I want to play them against Barcelona at home.
But they were the better team today. Chelsea were the better team, and surely you have to take your hats off.
No, they were the better on the counter-attack.
I think they were a better team overall.
Well, they were better on the counter-attack.
What do you think, Stevie?
Well, I think every single time he's played with Hazard up front as a centre-forward, they've been horrible. So to turn around and think that because today they did well, this is a genius move, I just think he
Wait a minute.
I just think he didn't want to play Morata.
No one gave Chelsea a chance, did they?
No, that's not right.
No one gave Chelsea a chance.
Hold on. You're talking about why he played Hazard and didn't play Morata or Giroud. And I'm telling you that it's lucky. Because every single time they've done it this season...
Stevie, lucky's harsh, isn't it? How can you say he's lucky?
Tell me why he did it. Every single time he's done it this season, they've been horrible.
But it worked this time.
They've been fortunate tonight that they've got a 1-1 draw. The thing's all about...
But wait a minute. If people hadn't seen this game, Barcelona must have had lots of chances. Courtois must have had a worldie. Chelsea were the better team.
On the counter-attack, yes.
But it worked.
But your argument has got nothing to do with it. Your argument is... You're having a go at him because you said Morata and Giroud didn't play, and I'm telling you that it's down to a little bit of luck, a fair bit of luck. Because every time he's done it this season, and I'll say it for the third time, they've been horrible.
But you're talking about lucky. Willian hit the post twice.
No,
Chelsea had the better chances.
I'm talking about being lucky because they played the front three that they did. At the end of the day, they hit the post twice. They did make more chances in Barcelona. But guess what the score is? And guess who's going into the second leg as
But that's not
favourites?
because Giroud and Morata didn't play,
Well, you don't know that. It's not Giroud. Forget Giroud. Sorry, Ali. Forget Giroud, right? This is about Morata. This is about Morata, right? At home. And Stevie's right. 90% of the time he's played with Hazard through the middle, it hasn't worked. He did it against Arsenal in the League Cup semi-final. Didn't work.
But it did work today.
Tell me how it worked.
Because they were 1-0 up with 15 minutes to go.
You're not listening. The game was one each. There was a better opportunity against a Barcelona side that are not as fluent as they once were. They're more pragmatic to play supposedly one of Europe's top strikers in Alvaro Morata. And put Hazard where Pedro was, along with Willian, because Pedro was ineffective. That's the point.
Welcome to the show, Ali.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be here. Look, for all the huffing and puffing and all the things that you are mentioning that it almost worked, well, it didn't work. And so the truth of the matter is that Chelsea, yes, they made things complicated for Barcelona. Barcelona were not very good themselves. There were turnovers by Paulinho, turnovers by Rakitic, turnovers by Busquets. Barcelona did not play well. And still, it comes down to a mistake that you cannot make against a team like Barcelona. And that's, to me, that's the biggest point here. And I think Antonio Conte, in his reaction on the sideline, said it all, where he's putting his hands in his head the moment the turnover happens, because he knows that at this level, that mistakes ends up costing you. And in my opinion, it ends up killing what's going to be the second leg of this. Because to be honest with you, I don't see Chelsea going to the no camp and having to score 2 goals. Don't see it happening. So in the big picture, it did not work.
What happens to Barcelona going forward in the sense that I think everyone's been impressed with them, no question, this season. They've lost 1 game overall, yet I know the expectation, the bar is high with Barca because of the tiki-taki, because of everything they've done over the years, but they didn't seem to be that dominating force that we're used to.
No, but they're kind of, this is the way that Valverde has structured them. It's nice, but it isn't the the Pep style. It certainly isn't the style that rolled into Luis Enrique. I just think in this game, after the game at the Nou Camp, when I think Barcelona, the boys will knock Chelsea out, people will look back and say there was an opportunity at Stamford Bridge to try and get 2 or 3 goals, because that's effectively what most people think they need to go to the Nou Camp. Now, if you leave your top striker on the bench, you're leaving yourself open to criticism once they go out.
I'll tell you what, defensively, Chelsea were fantastic. But it just proves how good this Barcelona side are without the sparkle, that you make one mistake in the 90 minutes and all of a sudden you end up with a point.
Did we learn anything new from Barca today?
We learned that this is a different version of Barcelona. And yes, for all the possession, there wasn't a lot of creativity. They weren't very direct. There weren't many attacking options for Barcelona. And so, in the end, we learned the thing that we've known all along. It comes down to Lionel Messi. It comes down to a moment for Messi. It comes down to the fact that he gets one opportunity and it goes in the back of the net. So, then when we have all the players out on the field, would I rather have Willian with a chance or Messi with a chance? I'll take Messi. Would I rather have Hazard with a chance or Messi with a chance? I'll take Messi. Barcelona has Messi. Chelsea does not.
Just a word on Willian.
Yeah,
Why doesn't he play more?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
He was brilliant. I think it was
Well,
man of the
if he
match
keeps
today,
playing like
wasn't
that, he'll be on the bench. I mean, he's just so quick, so direct, quick feet, obviously great strike on him, but didn't learn anything new tonight.
Busquets couldn't handle him, could he?
No, because he hasn't got the quick feet to get around him. He's not. Why doesn't he play more often? I don't know.
And another point about the fact that you were mentioning that Morata stays on the bench. When we've criticized Wenger in terms of not playing like I said, it applies the same to Antonio Conte. So if we're going to pass judgment on Arsene Wenger not playing, like I said, on the biggest games for Arsenal, it is the same reason. There was an opportunity here because there was a Barcelona team that was vulnerable.
Do you know, if
they're
Mourinho
not vulnerable anymore.
You're right. If Mourinho had done that, or Wenger, but say Mourinho in this competition, who's been labelled a defensive coach or whatever, we know, kind of truth somewhere in the middle, he would have been, I think, dragged about by saying, well, if he'd have left Lukaku on the bench and tried to play some sort of false 9, he'd have got slaughtered. So I just think Conte, it was a good performance from Chelsea in the current context of how they've played this season. But I just think with a natural target man, it could have freed Hazard up with Willian to do a little bit more. I mean, they could carry Paulinho, carry him and bring on Andre Gomez and still get a result.
You're trying to sell me the fact that Conte slightly bottled it, yeah, in the fact that he left Morata on the bench.
No, it was a wee bit negative, I thought.
Does it not? Is there not another side that says basically Conte doesn't think that Morata's good enough?
Well, yeah.
You'd have to think like that. I mean, he's kind of gotten away with it because Willian hits the post twice and does score. Because I don't think there was one person before this game kicked off, certainly amongst us lot, who didn't scratch their head and go, hold on a minute, why is he not playing Morata?
In fact, Morata...
So he's kind of gotten away with that a little bit.
In fact, Morata and Giroud, there's a shot where they're both looking at each other, and they're like, wait, if you're here and I'm here, then who's out there? That's exactly what happened.
Let's take a look at the SBI, shall we, going forward. Obviously, it's a massive goal for Barcelona. Lionel Messi, 85% it was before, 88% now going into the second leg at the Camp Nou. It's tough, isn't it, to make an argument for Chelsea now? You could over the 2 legs, maybe, if you say they got a good result.
Well, what's he going to do? I mean, how's he going to play it in the Nou Camp? I mean, does he go with something? He'll certainly need Willian to play, because he'll need to have the pace on the counter.
He has to score.
He has to do it.
They have to score.
But he has to go about it the way they did tonight, surely.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any other way, because they can't go and play.
So no Morata.
No, I would play Morata. I'm just saying that they have to counter-attack, is what I'm saying. Because if they go toe-to-toe in the Nou Camp, they're going to get smashed.
But if at home he set it up the way he did, then I'm guessing at the Camp Nou, it's going to be even worse. It's going to be more numbers behind the ball. But I do think that you need an outlet, because at some point you got to relieve pressure. You can't just go into Barcelona and say, you know what, we're just going to sit behind the ball and you're just going to keep coming at us. At some point, you got to have the ability to go on the counter, relieve that pressure, advance your lines defensively, and give yourself an opportunity.
The Morata thing would have made more sense in the second leg.
Right.
That would have been some, depending on the scoreline from today's game. Kind of you went and went, OK, I understand, wants to get somebody back into midfield, make an extra man there and then play it that way. But I know we've criticised Morata, and I know he's sort of fallen over a little bit this season when somebody's touched him. But is he that bad? This guy's played in the Champions League final, played for Real Madrid, played for Juventus. He doesn't play in your biggest home game of the season with a coach who's under pressure. I think that tells it all.